Welcome to the Default Profitable Podcast. You're listening to the next episode, and today we're going to talk about what it takes to build, grow, and run a contracting business. Some successes, some failures, and some stories from a real business owner. I'm your host, Matt Nettleton, and today my guest is Millie Hindes of Watergate Roofing. Millie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited and nervous, and I've heard that you're supposed to tell everyone that you're nervous so you don't sound like a complete screw up.
No, you'll be fine. I mean,
Okay.
Everybody's nervous, but
Yeah.
no big deal. So we met a month ago. We've talked for a couple minutes before this. Why don't you take 2 or 3 minutes, introduce yourself and then your company to everybody that's listening?
My name is Millie Hindes. I own and I'm the founder of Watergate Roofing. And I only say founder because everyone kind of assumes that it's actually my husband's business, but I own 51% because I'm a woman. So that makes it a woman-owned business. But no, this was my baby. This is my second baby. My first baby was my yellow lab. And I've owned her for 11 years. We actually, I've had the same roofers for the last 11 years. The first roofers who did my first roof is Watergate Roofing, are still doing my roofs today. I actually just got off a job, so feeling a bit sweaty and dirty.
Excellent.
And that's about it.
All right. So what was it that made you, a woman of all things, start a contracting business?
So I had gotten into this business in 2007 when the economy was just about to turn bad. I was in the mortgage industry. That was not working out. And then I went and was being a bartender, getting ready to go back to school to get my teaching license. And this was in Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from. And so bartending, these 4 or 5 guys came in every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like freaking clockwork. And they would drink their faces off, spend a ton of money, tip me extremely well. So finally, I asked the older one guy, I was like, so what do you guys do? If you're undercovers, it's totally cool. I get it. I won't say anything to anyone. He was like, no, we're storm chasers. And I was like, okay, like you go around and you're weathermen and extreme tornadoes and whatnot. He was like, nope, not at all. We come in after a hailstorm or a windstorm and we sell people roof siding and gutters who have enough damage so that their insurance will pay for it. He was like, so that's why we were in Columbus, Ohio, because there was a bad hailstorm, but this is wrapping up, but we have a office in Portland, Oregon. He was like, you know what? You could do this. You'd make a great salesperson. Why don't you come out, see if you can drive a truck, get on a ladder, climb a roof, and then we'll kind of see where to go from there. So I did, and I loved Portland, Oregon. And I could climb a ladder and drive a truck and all that sort of fun stuff. And I loved working outside and getting all sweaty and dirty. And I thought that was sexy, but that is apparently not the case.
Who knew?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So you go to Portland from Columbus, Ohio.
Yep.
And the logical next step is you have a roofing company based in Indianapolis.
No, I chased storms for 3 or 4 more years.
Okay.
I was literally in, oh my God, I think I've counted this before, 8 or 9 different cities. Some of my favorites being Stillwater, Minnesota, Portland, Oregon. I was actually there twice. Newport, Kentucky, which is surprising. And then Austin, Texas, and Galveston, Texas. Galveston, Texas, I was actually trying to be an insurance adjuster after Hurricane Ike, but the paperwork was way too much, way out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I'm not a paperwork kind of girl.
All right.
Yeah. And then I came back to Indianapolis and opened and worked. So I just had to work for like one more dumb schmuck boss. And I've got a little story about that.
Sure.
So I remember my last boss, I had a leak in this house and I was pretty sure it was the step flashing. The step flashing was not installed properly. We had just done their roof. And so I was like, hey boss, why don't you come out here with me and like make sure that I'm right and make sure that this is the area that's leaking. So it was like an 812, which is a little bit steep for homeowners to get on, but a freaking roofer should be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
So he was shaking so badly trying to get off that ladder. And like, he like crawled up it and was like so nervous. And I was just like, oh my God, if he owns a business and can't walk on an 812 roof, I should own a roofing company because I can walk on an 812. You know what I mean? And so that was the most erroneous way to think about owning a freaking business, is that I could climb a steep roof. But here we are. But here we are.
So the funny thing is, and I don't know if you've ever read it, but the E-Myth refers to that as an entrepreneurial seizure.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if this clown can do it, I can certainly do it.
Oh, yeah.
Little did you know that walking on an 812 roof had almost nothing to do with owning a business.
It has zero to do with owning a business, but it's crazy that I've actually made it.
Yeah. All right. So you're a bartender in Columbus. You start chasing storms. You go to 8 cities. You end up working for a clown.
Yep.
And then you say, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Do you have a passion for roofing? What's the driving?
So no, I would say that I'm just lucky because I don't have a thing with getting on and off ladders. I don't have a fear of heights. I love being outside. I actually love getting sweaty, although I don't look as sexy as I thought I did. But it's fun to me. And then working with homeowners is what I truly love about this. You know what I mean? And there was like a storm chaser, so I was good at working with adjusters as well. Because even now, it's like roofers have it in their head that, hey, if I am a mean a-hole to this adjuster, of course he'll approve the roof for me. And that couldn't be any more erroneous.
That works everywhere else in life.
Yeah, I know.
If I just treat people like garbage, they'll help me out.
Exactly. And so, so all the other roofing companies can go ahead and believe that. But I teach my guys to be nice, respectful. Hey, is there anything I can do to help you? You can use my ladder. Do you need a hand with anything? So I think we've got that covered.
All right. So, one of the things that, as I've done this and I'm talking to business owners, and I find that they fall into one of two groups. One group is you see an economic opportunity. Hey, I can make money there. And the other group is, oh, I just love selling roofs, right? The Don's Guns version of roof sales. Where would you be on that? Or you just love it, or there's an economic opportunity?
Oh no, there's a huge opportunity. And I don't mind it at all. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Apparently in my personality, I don't like doing things that I don't like doing, and I can't be unhappy with that situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, I love this. And it's funny. So I'm good with homeowners. I'm good with customers. I'm great with adjusters, but I actually hired my husband to help me with our team, because apparently I am not a good manager of people. So if you know anything about the disc profile,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm a D.
No
And
way.
so, yeah.
All the best people are.
Oh, yeah, all 2% of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is like our general manager, and I just like do sales and networking, and he's a great addition to the company. So that was an awakening for me when I started hiring people that, gee whiz, why aren't they happy? Gee whiz, why did they come to work, not in a good mood? I'm Chipper Gore.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. When you started, obviously climbing on an 812 roof wasn't something that was helpful. What things did you not know that if you had known back then would have helped you succeed more quickly?
So my personality type would have allowed me to hire people who did not mind working for me, and they would have been treated well and all of that. And so the best growth that we have had has been since Nick, my husband, was hired. And so I would have hired a general manager to take care of all that stuff and just do what I was good at. But I didn't have that growth mindset. And so if I would have had a growth mindset, because I've been in business going on 12 years, I would be so close to retirement right now, because we've had some awesome storms. I would have cleaned up on those, and then just being more business savvy rather than just selling my tookus off being like a 1 to 2 man show.
First person to use the word tookus on the podcast. Congratulations.
Oh, right.
You've hit the word of the day. Bingo.
I'm trying my best to not cuss. If you see this rubber band with all of these welts on it, I'm trying my best to stop cussing.
Oh, excellent.
Good job.
Excellent. So you say being more business savvy. I mean, you started the business, you've been around for 12 years. It couldn't have been that bad.
No, it wasn't, because I am good at what it takes to grow a business. So actually, you know what? I'm decent. I'm not even like good at anything, but as like an entrepreneur, I can do everything. I'm just not great at anything. And so I'm a big networker. I've been networking since before I actually opened my own business. And so I've been in Home Artisans of Indiana, which actually we have 4 groups now, since for like 13 years, I think. And so all of these fantastic relationships that I built in that has actually helped me grow my business immensely. And so I would have just hired people to do things that I was not good at.
So it sounds like you kind of knew from the word go that you weren't great at anything, but you were good at a lot of things and you were good enough to get things running.
Yes, I totally was.
How long did it take you to figure out what you needed to outsource? When did you get your husband involved?
Only 4 years ago, I think. It was basically right when COVID hit, and I had hired like an admin assistant, and she was jam packed with stuff. She needed help, and I was like, "What do you need help for? I just told you how to do it." And so I begged Nick to come on, and he did, and he cleaned up in a hurry, and he's made some awesome hires, and he's fantastic with our sales guys and our entire team, you know what I mean? Whereas I would have fired everyone at least twice by now if it would have been up to me.
So, as you talk about this, I hear the excitement and the passion and the joy and everything. I mean, do you regret not going into teaching?
No, I don't. No, I have a 5.5-year-old, and he literally just like takes the life out of me. I am so exhausted from his amount of energy. I can't imagine being in a room of like 20 to 30 of those children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like 5.5, they're pretty easy. They listen to you, they take discipline. Yeah, they cry, but it's like, dude, the older you get, the more difficult kids get. And I'd be a mess. And you can't fire students.
No, you can't. So if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, listen, I've been a bartender, I'm thinking about being a teacher, and I'm ready to start my own business instead," do you encourage them or do you discourage them?
Oh no, I totally encourage them to.
And what do you tell them?
So I would tell them to find people that could mentor them. Find people it doesn't even need to be their type of business, because businesses are businesses. They are basically all run the same way. They all need the same fundamentals. You need to figure out what type of person you are, what your gifts are, and then where your low levels are. And you need to hire someone in order to fill your low levels. And then the mentoring thing, that would have been huge for me if I would have literally like just listened to a few of these extremely successful business owners that I was networking with. They would have told me that, "Hey, Millie, I know you're good at everything. You're not great at everything. And with this immense amount of growth that you want to do, this is what you need to do is A, B, and C." That would have been extremely helpful. But I wasn't looking for help because I was just like a 2-man show.
So when you sit back, it's 2024, you've been doing this for 12 years as your own show. If you sat back and you're in a bar, you got a beer in front of you, and 2024 Millie walks in to sit next to 2012 Millie and says, "Listen, you're going to start this roofing company tomorrow. Everything works out, but in order to be successful, here's the first thing you should do. Here's what you concentrate on first."
Oh, gee whiz, that's a deep question. I mean, like I said earlier, talk to people. Um, and then I would have hired someone literally to answer my phone, and so I could have gotten out there and sold more. And as soon as I sold more, I would have hired a production manager, and I mean, just the amount of growth that I could have done would have been immense. Um, and so I would actually go ahead and hire a general manager in order to do all of my hiring, who knew what type of personality I was, and he could handle me, but he could actually run all the back end stuff because I'm still networking and I'm still selling. You know what I mean? Right now I'm sitting in my truck because I just got off a roof. You know what I mean? So I know now what I'm good at, and where I'm lacking. So I probably would have filled up the empty tanks with some people.
All right. Is there any other nugget of wisdom or word? Because I mean, let's recount a couple of things. One, you've owned the business for 12 years.
Yeah.
Two, even though you've continually talked about how you don't manage people well, you've kept the same roofing crews that whole time, which is
Yes.
amazing,
Yes.
right? So, what is there any other tip that you would give an aspiring or new business owner?
Be prepared to work your tokus off for like the next.
Twice. You've used it twice now.
Okay, good. I mean, it's better than ass.
Yeah.
um, I would just say be prepared to work your butt off for anywhere from like 3 to 5 years, depending on the amount of growth that you want. I mean, all of these entrepreneurs that I know that I'm friends with now, they're like, yeah, I used to pull all-nighters like at least twice a week, and that's the type of commitment that you need. And you need to literally commit to building your business. And it's not going to be easy. And there's times that you're not going to want to do the stuff that you need to do in order to move it, but it will work out eventually. But you have to really put some work in. And networking is a fantastic way to not only grow your business, but to find some mentors. And people like talking about their themselves and their failures and their successes, and in order to help someone else, which that has been a gift in a huge way for me.
All right. Well, that's a quick 20 minutes.
Oh, nice.
So I think that's a good place to wrap up, because I think the big thing, that I walk away from listening to you, it's you're going to work hard.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to be great at everything,
Mm-mm.
right?
No,
But
you're not.
but if you can be honest about, hey, I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to have to find people that do what I don't do, I think those are two great lessons for somebody that's new or aspiring. So,
Yes.
and there's one final lesson, and we joked about it early on, but you know, the idea that a girl would go out and start a roofing company in the contracting world, like, it didn't phase you.
No, it didn't. And people always ask me, they'll ask, do you think that you've gotten more business from being a woman-owned roofing company? And I was like, do I think I have? Hell yes, I do. But have I? I have no idea. I have no idea what sexist a-hole is out here being like, I'm not going to call her because she has a
Yeah,
girl parts.
yeah,
Because she's a woman. And but it's like I hear probably 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, I think it's awesome. You're a woman-owned company, right? I was like, yeah. They're like, yeah, that's so cool. That's why I called you. I'll be like, that is awesome. Good deal.
yeah. And I've interviewed a lot of women-owned business owners on the podcast and everything, and I think the one thing that they all have in common is they're not business owners because they're women. They're business owners who happen to be women.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that's, in your case, that's what you are. You're a business owner. And oh, by the way, you're a woman also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think anybody should let that slow them down. So
No, and I don't think it does.
yeah. All right. Well, hey, listen, I want to wrap up. I'm going to remind everybody that you can find more information about Millie and her company in the show notes at defaultprofitable.com. As a listener, 3 ways you can help us grow. Leave a review wherever you listen. Hit subscribe wherever you listen. And if you hear an episode like this where somebody uses the word took us 3 times in one episode, make sure you share it with somebody you know. Millie, thanks for being a guest. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And then for our listeners, we'll be back next week with another episode of Default Profitable. Until then, stay focused, keep working, stay profitable.